ownership, and operations. Paul brings expertise in bridging finances and emerging technologies, sharing how innovation and digital ecosystems create borderless opportunities in align profitability with purpose in the evolving global financial landscape. And then we have Anand Wong. Very welcome on the stage. And Anand is a business leader with an international cross-industry experience. Anand is skilled in building partnerships, leading multicultural teams, and driving strategic growth. His perspective highlights how leadership rooted in purpose and innovation can unlock profitable opportunities in a borderless economy while creating meaningful long-term impact. And then we have Sven Kinzenberger. Hello. Oh, okay. So we don't have Sven, we have Russia. Sorry about that. Russia is the CEO. Yeah, I definitely have you on my list here. Russia is the CEO on Well-Rice Management. Russia is an article finance expert with over 15 years of international experience. She brings a rare blend of analytic precision and strategic leadership, redefining how wealth management integrates purpose, compliance, and performance with sustainable growth. Very welcome, esteemed guests. And then we have Anna Lidivaci as a co-leader of a global private investment platform in Dubai. Anna Lidivaci connects visionary entrepreneurship with international network of investors, family offices, and venture capital partners. Drawing inspiration from her family multi-generational legacy in finance, she champions innovations across AI, technology, and sustainability, shaping a future where capital and purpose grows hand in hand.
I keep my answers short. I'm coming from South Africa, so within the African continent. So legal technology and driving innovation is a means of helping to create investment opportunity in the country and in the continent. The ways that we've done this, it really ranges, but I actually thought of raising awareness on dilemmas around technology and tech implementation in my country and in the continent. What you'll find is that at first, when you look at dilemmas, whether it's socio-economic dilemmas, you first see it as challenges, but thereafter, if you can invest in challenges, you can see them as opportunities to drive innovation. So some of the challenges that we find is that Africa is often seen as a testing ground rather than an investment hub. Mm-hmm. So what we do find is that often arable land that should be used for agriculture, we have an issue of water scarcity and food security, like Mr. James Muriel outlined earlier. But what we do find is, in an effort to drive innovation through tech and through AI, we end up using these resources that are really short. And what I wanted to point out is something interesting, which I think we need to find a better solution to, is often a lot of data centers are actually created in Africa to try to deal with all the data ranging for AI. But something that we don't really realize is that it uses a lot of arable land, and you require fresh water to clean it in high volumes. Mm-hmm. So this is an issue that we need to raise awareness on. We need to drive innovation and more sustainable solutions, because what ends up happening is that we have short-term solutions and then the solution quickly dries out. I could really go on if you allow me to.
Just a little, yeah.
A little. Okay. The other issue is that we have low digital literacy rates. So something we need to do is develop educational programs that actually focus on ramping up digital literacy. And digital literacy actually speaks to the emotional and cognitive ability to understand what it means to have internet access, to optimize usage, and to operate devices to actually drive usage of tech tools. So yes, we do have access to it, but in a way to close that gap, the digital divide, the access divide, we have to find a way to optimize usage through educational programs.
Thank you so much. That's very interesting that you have actually all of these outlinings here. And I would like to furthermore go to Mr. Sean Popper. Would you outline maybe in correlation to what Solani said, how technology can help actually business to expand in a global way while staying in authenticity and in the purpose of it?
Coming from a cybersecurity perspective, which is where I live, so a lot of that, everything that you refer to requires some level of, for lack of a better term, protection and or monitoring, and to be able to understand that, also understanding that all of that is considered assets, which have value outside of your domain. So one of the things to continue to allow your businesses to be solvent, stay in business, stay profitable, is to never forget that you need to continue to secure, and I've said this many times, you know, a few people have heard me say this, that don't think that just because you're a small business, that you are not a target.
That's true.
You are, if you have any sort of intellectual property, there's value, and there's there's an ecosystem that will sell it for someone else's behalf. So a lot of that solvency is do not avoid proper cybersecurity, basic sports analogy, blocking and tackling.
Yes, thank you for that. That's a very good appel on everybody. It's not about how big you are, it's about where the opportunities are, isn't it, Sean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a question on Paul. How technology helps actually the businesses to expand globally while staying authentic?
Yeah, so generally the tech part needs to support the system sustainability to get the outreach, to get the adoption to different places. There's a social investable element to technologies, which they happen to also be present in the crypto space, in the Web3 space, because a lot of the memes, for example, were social investable assets, which they resonate with different cultures and subcultures across the internet space. Those were successfully transformed into actual platforms where user adoption was high. So the challenge is when you bridge the gap between the user experience, where they're coming from, why they're investing and what they're investing, and then succeed in the market from a perspective of adoption of the product itself, then you are actually gaining momentum.
Thank you very much. I know you come from a totally other side of the world. Thank you for having such a long journey. How do you think leaders that inspire innovation while staying grounded actually in the value of the long-term purpose? Would you outline this maybe also with your background?
I will try my level best to answer that question from the HR perspective. Being in the HR space for the last 25 years, we as HR leaders, we support managers and leaders to propel and thrive in the workplace. That includes managing teams across distributed teams around the world. So one basic thing as a leader can do is essentially implement a daily ritual to help encourage the team members to be able to spark innovation and have those conversations, just so that it can cultivate a daily habit, for example. And these kind of consistencies that will help build up the overall culture of the organization. And that's how the leaders can help quickly implement that straight away. Then on the other hand, from the HR perspective, we like to run training programs, especially to strengthen the people management capabilities. One of the things that I always find difficulty hearing from the leaders is that I don't have the skills or competencies to manage new team members, for example, or existing team members. So from HR perspective, how do we cultivate and develop or design those programs to be able to help them achieve those competencies that's required? So training is definitely an essential part.
It is also very appealing for a team and for a company to actually put this resources actually in your team. Thank you for outlining this. Yeah. Raka, in terms of the financial performance, how organizations can balance their purpose-driven strategies?
So for companies, first of all, I want to say that purpose and profit are not rivals; they complete each other. So especially for Worldwide, at Worldwide we are aiming for the holistic management. It means that we are combining profit and purpose. The way that every investment for every borderless investment to fit to the values of the investors and the culture of the company. So that's why we are aiming to combine purpose and profit to be aligned to the values of each one.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anna, how do you actually have the innovation and legacy work together in shaping the future and the impact of investing?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll share with you hopefully just my own personal experience. So it's much better always when it comes from yourself and from what you have been living through. So I'm managing the Batch Capital, so I'm the CEO of our family group. We have been now based in UAE over 5 years, and I represent the Batch noble family, which dates back to easily 13th century. So it is in our DNA, in our family, being responsible and leading with ethical values, being led by God, by family, and by tradition. So for us, in generations, the business has never been just about numbers. Now, starting 800 years ago, so our family has been investing in ethical ventures. We have founded the Italian banking system, which you can see now currently, which has happened thanks to our ancestors from the Medici side. And we have been investing and supporting educational ventures. We have also been patronizing various humanitarian initiatives, as well as patronizing arts. We have beautiful art collections and galleries across Europe. Now, coming to the 21st century and where we are today with my family, and my mother, Countess Elena Di Bacci, is in the room as well with us today. So we are now on the board of Di Bacci Capital. Being in this position allows me to see what you have asked from the first row, because I see probably daily about 30 or 40 decks, investor decks that I have to look at, and I have to see whether that is relevant, whether it is worth even seeing for our investor group, whether it has, whether it answers to the expectations that our investors have, and of course, the first question that we ask, yes, it is whether the venture will be profitable. But the next question, which we used to ask last, now comes second. Does actually, so besides the profit, what is next? Does it make profit? What does the company actually stand for? So this has been a big shift. I would even say it has been a huge change in the past 5 years. Whether in the UAE, for example, in the ventures here, but I've noticed working with our family offices and partner VCs. Now the question is this business sustainable? How does it? How do they support the COP28 movement? Now COP30 coming up. Are they involved in carbon credits? Are they bringing any way benefit to society? So are they leaving legacy? So all of these questions being asked not just by investors, but also by the customers and every stakeholder in the business. I have seen this change personally, and I can tell that this now has become one of the questions that the investor or partners consider first before making actually the decision whether to proceed with investing or partnering with that startup or company. So for us, definitely purpose has become united, like Rasha mentioned, united with profit and united with innovation 100%. And I'm sure it will not only decrease in that, but it will become even more unified with time. And I look forward to that.
Thank you so much, Anna. If the future of success isn't about growth, but it's about meaning, I would like to know from each of you what is the most important meaning for you in your definition of success. Would you just go ahead and give me a closing comment on that? Just a sentence or two. So yeah, I just would like to suck on a little bit on your brain to just get inside what is actually that success meaning for you.
So success in my world, which I deal with the public sectors, which is dealing with the citizens of each country, get to allow developers, builders to create more secure applications that eliminates the vector of people to not be as, they don't have to be as risk averse. So the end game is ultimately that we have a much safer internet for the next generations.
Thank you. Very insightful. So Nali, I would like to hear from you and our audience.
So success in defining it and then also driving success, for me, in keeping with what I just mentioned, would mean that looking towards our micro and macroeconomic dividers impeding on digital transformation and seeing them as opportunities which could actually be micro and macroeconomic drivers that could enhance and elevate digital transformation.
Thank you. And Paul, what is your biggest meaning when it comes to success?
Yeah, from the industrial perspective, from where I come from, I would say to give financial services to the unbanked in the population, people who don't have access to banks. And we've seen some of those blockchains like Stellar who have had contributions in this domain. I would also say to give the opportunity for many to have access to the cryptocurrency asset class itself, whether they are their own blockchains or smaller coins. And with that, we've seen also one of the big narratives play out, one of the stablecoin narrative, where, for example, in the Coinbase exchange, they designed a wallet where you have the ability to have USDC, one of the biggest stablecoins, across four different users across the world who are able to kind of invest in the assets without having a rigorous KYC process. So the exposure to the asset class, having providing financial capabilities and services to the unbanked is also empowering from a financial perspective to the global citizen.
Thank you. Out of respect of time, Mr. Wong, just give us a short glimpse of what is your definition.
Sure. I'll answer that question in two aspects. Professionally or on work front, it's really to help people thrive. In order to do that, on a personal level, I need to achieve inner peace. Hopefully, that will help propel to be successful in helping people.
Very good, inner peace. Thank you.
Telling an experience or to let people feel like seen, inspired, and connected across borders.
Thank you so much. And Anna, maybe you share your last little glimpse of what is success meaning.
Yes. So for the Bachi Capital and for my mother, Countess Elena de Bachi, who is here with us in the room. For the Bachi Capital. So success, I would say it is definitely focusing on the ventures that are profitable, that are potentially going to become unicorns, hopefully one day. And of course, those ventures that one way or another, they have to benefit humanity. They have to not only be innovative, they have to be sustainable, they have to be ethical, they have to be anchored in God, and they have to be guided by ethics. And I believe if we dare to build this way, our businesses, every businesses that are in our portfolio that we support, they will not only shape markets, but they will shape history.
Thank you. And dear audience, please join me to thank actually the panelists here on stage and dedicating us their wisdom. And thank you so much for